Detroit's swarming physical defense outdoes the Utah Jazz, stymies their two main scorers, and the Jazz fall to the Pistons in Detroit. We're talking about it next on POSTCAST. David Locke along with Ron Boone, and really we can kind of zero in on one thing, a 4 of 22 shooting third quarter. The Jazz in that quarter went 1 of 11 from 3, and they end up scoring just 14 points in the third quarter. And really this was dictated by the Pistons in the sense that this game followed the script, Ron, that they've really used all year long, which is they fall behind early, they kind of work their way back, and then I think they wear you out in the third and fourth quarters.
Well, you can see that their style is just that. I mean, they put so much offensive pressure on you and their defensive pressure. The offensive pressure, meaning they're trying to score early in the clock, really push the basketball up the floor. They try to create turnovers. The Jazz turned it over 15 times and gave up 21 points off of those turnovers. But their offensive pressure and the defensive pressure that they just dictates the speed of the game, and the guy trying to get by. But I totally agree. The third quarter was the quarter. I mean, otherwise, you look at the other quarters, pretty evenly played basketball game, percentage-wise and points on the board. But it was the third period that really separated them.
No Lowry, really no Keontae tonight. The two of them combined to go 14 of 40. 4 of 17 from 3. What did Detroit do to those guys?
Well, how many open looks from the three-point line did they have? I mean, that's the kind of pressure that they put on you. I mean, the Jazz and Lowry, who's so good at shooting over the top of defenders, just could not do that for the most part tonight. Keontae really couldn't get it off because either they were doubling him or forcing him to shoot over a much taller defender. So that part of it was because of Detroit's defense.
What's kind of awesome is Ausar Thompson starts on Keontae, who is as good an on-ball defender as anyone in the NBA, and he's long and so then you run a pick and roll to try to get free, and if they switch it, it's Isaiah Stewart or Jalen Duren. Though there's nothing easy about that. Like, you're not blowing by those guys and getting them to the rim. You're not like they're going to pretty much force you into a step back three is your only shot, and then they're both big so that they close that window pretty fast.
Yeah, and you're looking at 6'7" for Thompson, Cade Cunningham 6'6", 6'8", Stewart, 6'7", Duncan Robinson. So they're kind of
the Houston of the Eastern Conference.
Now, if you watch Thompson, and you'll be able to watch him probably the next ball game, and I'm curious to see if his brother plays defense the same way. Very low, his hands are low to the floor, and they're open for deflections, that kind of thing. So, and I was watching that, and that's why he comes up with deflections and keeps you from crossing over or anything like that. You know why
Ausar Thompson and Amon Thompson's hands are close to the floor?
They have long arms.
Because they start that way when they wake up in the morning. I mean, there really is something. This is also, just by the way, this is an interesting comment that Bernie Bickerstaff made, and it's actually worth mentioning. So we talk about players' heights, and as somebody once said to me, all we're actually talking about is how big someone's neck is. You really want to know what someone's standing reach is. That actually tells you what you need to know. Mm-hmm. So you have Isaiah Stewart here, whose standing reach is 9 feet. Ooh. So he might be listed at 6'9", but the fact of the matter is, hello, Mr. Mahorn.
Hello.
How are you feeling, my man?
Feeling better.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Thank you.
He's 9 feet standing reach. That's longer than Taylor Hendricks, Ace Bailey, or Kyle Filipowski. Those guys are all, I think, 8'11". That's Lauri Markkanen, who's 7 feet tall. Ausar Thompson is kind of the same story there. Like, his is 8'8", which is awfully long for a guard or for someone who's 6'7". So these guys are way bigger in reality than what they are actually when you look at them metric-wise.
And you see why Keontae had so much problem shooting over the top of these guys. I mean, those long arms, and then they're 6'6", 6'7". It makes it awfully difficult. 9 feet, that's almost touching the rim flat foot.
Yeah.
Just think about that. So Kessler, 7'1".
He's a 9'4", I think.
Yeah,
is my
so
memory on that.
It makes you a pretty good idea on how long those arms are.
No Walker Kessler tonight, and we'll discuss the long term as Walker Kessler now out for the season for the Utah Jazz. We'll discuss that. Or was that, Lacey wants to know, was that Ace Bailey's best night of the year? I think probably. We'll discuss that as well all here. But let me take a moment and just thank some of our sponsors for tonight's ball game as the Jazz fall to the Detroit Pistons. We also have to give out our Lacey Stars, right, tonight. And Ron's been working hard trying to figure out who those Lacey Stars are. Today's show is brought to you in part by FanDuel. FanDuel, get into the action at FanDuel. If you were into the action tonight, it might have been super interesting because I think the line was 10.5. And those free throws at the end moved it to 11. So that could have been a super interesting night. So be into it, make it every night a little bit more fun with FanDuel.com. Check it all out at FanDuel. Right now, if you bet $5 and win your opening bet with FanDuel, you'll get $300 in bonus bets. So make sure you go check it all out at FanDuel.com. Today's show also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Get Locked On NBA. Get you $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. Use the Game Time deals for various sections of the building, and you end up with the Game Time zone deals are an absolutely fabulous deal for you as well. That's all with at GameTime.com. Promo code Locked On NBA get you $20 off your first purchase. Ron Boone, was that Ace Bailey's best game of the year?
I think, yes, he looked good. I think in spurts. He did make mistakes, and obviously he's going to continue to make mistakes until. But I thought he was he figured a lot of things out.
Well,
better tonight than what we've seen. So Lacey's right about that.
So what I saw tonight for the first time was I saw him actually take shoot around and put it into play.
Okay.
Right, like they worked on not driving back into the middle, but taking the ball and driving the gap. Now he doesn't entirely know how to execute that at the end of it. So I thought that was better. I thought we saw him try to get some things right. It is worth noting Ace is plus minus every night. Now he often plays with Lowry off the floor, but his plus minus every night is pretty tough.
Yeah,
he's minus 15 again tonight. He's, I think, got the worst differential of any player in the NBA right now.
So playing basketball at this level is what he's struggling with right now. Making good decisions and not just relying on his ability, because he has a tremendous amount of ability to play this game. But and Will talks about making the right decisions out there on the floor. You notice Will talks to him quite a bit. I mean, especially if he makes a mistake, it's not like he's chewing him out like he does a couple other guys on the floor, because he's really trying to help Bailey along to the point where he doesn't get down on himself, to the point where he's I see that in Clayton sometimes when he kind of gets down on himself.
So one thing tonight was the first night without Walker for the season. It's kind of been being murmured around the group. If you're wondering, were the players stunned by this? I don't think so. The players have kind of known this was a real possibility, and they were kind of amongst themselves, have been discussing it. The Jazz allowed 33 shots at the rim. Before this road trip, which could have been because of hometown scoring or because of the Jazz were one of the best teams in the league at denying shots at the rim. Tonight, they allow 33 shots at the rim. Is that the Pistons' ability to get at the rim, or is this the new reality without Walker Kessler?
This is probably going to be the new reality. I mean, we won't see 60 points in the paint every ball game because Kessler is not there. But it's going to be an adjustment the Jazz are going to have to make it on the type of defense they play on trying to defend the rim. Nurkic is not a shot blocker. He's a body rebounder because he doesn't really jump and go after rebounds. He uses his body, fends guys off so he can get rebounds. And he had a very good night rebounding tonight with 17 rebounds. But that's the kind of player he is in the middle of the floor. So the Jazz are going to have to get creative on how to defend the basket.
By the way, Jalen Duren by the end of the night had a 22-22 night, which I kind of missed during the broadcast. So 22.
15 shots in 35 minutes.
Yeah, 22 points and 22 rebounds. He is really in his fourth year coming to himself. What do you think of Cade Cunningham?
I think Cade is, and I ask you, did he play point guard in college?
Yep.
You see how much control he is out there. Just takes his time. You don't speed him up. Gets to his spots offensively, and his defense is not bad. Number one pick for a reason. So he's a good player. Very impressed.
Is he top 10 NBA, top 15 NBA?
I'm gonna put him top 15 as far as. I'll put him top 10 as far as guards.
Yeah, I want to know NBA. Like how far
NBA,
he's their best player. How far can he carry this franchise?
No.
I mean, him versus Jalen Brunson playoff again would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
See who takes it. All right, Jazz notes tonight. Ron Boone, who you got?
I'm just going to give out one.
Okay,
and that's going to be Mahalu.
Svi Mykhailiuk gets the one.
Yes. The one.
25 for Lowry, but inefficient. 25, 28 for Mykhailiuk, and 19 for Key, but inefficient as well. Nobody off the bench with particularly good numbers tonight, and so that is it. Svi Mykhailiuk gets our single only star, and Lacey points out this is the first night all year Key did not get a Jazz note.
Really?
That might be because of Osur Thompson.
Yeah.
But at some point, you're going to get to be the question at some point is how much can you start to dictate your own matchups rather than have it be dictated by the other guy?
Great point. And didn't have it tonight.
Nope. That wraps us up from here. Thank you very much, Detroit. It's always a fun broadcast site. Always nice to see the people. Our engineer, Albert, tonight. Always good to see him.
Oh, we're on the court tonight, aren't we?
We are. This was nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Jazz fall tonight to the Detroit Pistons. We'll be back with you for POSTCAST from Minnesota. I'll be back with you Locked on Jazz from a desk, hopefully, in a hotel that has a desk. That's all I ask for.
Well, you should have joined me in the.
I tried. They don't have a plug near the table you were working.